I know I talked a bit about why I decided to choose Vocaloid, but I feel like giving you guys a detailed story since I overlooked quite a few profound pieces. So, back in 2011, I became interested in music, and if you're a longtime fan, you'll remember my first Ahsoka tribute I made that year. Actually, as a kid, I really liked music. I'd always listen to my portable cassette player with recorded songs from the Sonic games. I'm so old. Music was like my escape other than video games. I felt empowered, ready to take on the world. It wouldn't be until 2012 that I'd start writing lyrics and practice singing, which I suck at, by the way, which is why I'm a Vocaloid producer. Anyway, at the time, I wanted to form a band like Firefly, so I seeked out talented individuals and specific instruments. While I did find some, they were on completely different paths than mine. Our walks of life went on opposing ways. Not that we didn't believe in the same God, we just had other plans. No matter who I met and talked with, they would always turn it down in some way, shape, or form. Then to top it all off, a lot of bands I knew were breaking up, like Flyleaf when Lacey left the band. I mean, technically they did find a new singer, but anyway, not all hope was lost. The music scene was gradually evolving. Gone are the days of needing a record label or even a band. You can hire members at your own leisure, for a small fee of $500 per song, depending on who you hire. Yay! Regardless, investing that much money into a song that may end up forgotten is quite a bit, just saying. Business, no matter how you slice it, is a gamble. You invest or bet money into your craft in hopes of earning it all back. But I sought after this lifestyle in hopes of touring with the people who inspired me. Little did I know that this dream would evaporate before my eyes. At the time, I couldn't raise enough money through eBay, let alone having my mom drive me everywhere. I'd learned to drive myself, but I fear of crashing and taking someone's life. In the end, it'd be too much of a hassle, and the stress of it all wouldn't be worth it. And I was selfish. I wanted to be with Dawn all the time. Her husband Matt took that away from me. I was angry, envious, and I wished for him to perish. When they had a baby, I was even more mad because he or she would steal all the attention, and I'd never get to truly be with her. I hated it, and that's scary. I should be happy for Dawn, but I wasn't. Friends were few and far between, but I felt so much love for her. She was loving and understanding, and still is. She's my best friend. She doesn't have to say anything. Just being there with me is enough to erase any negative feeling I have. I wanted someone like that because I was sick of feeling dead. I don't want a boyfriend, or girlfriend for that matter. The lovey-dovey stuff ain't for me. Or the sexy. I just want a friend to hold me through hard times, and I got just that. Dawn does come through in spite of not having one, but 2 kids. It goes to show that if you truly care for someone, you'll go out of your way to show it. In the end, I gave up on music because, again, I was selfish. But in 2017, I rediscovered Vocaloid. My cousin Lydia introduced me to many years ago. Songs like Rolling Girl, Two-Faced Lovers, and Senbon Sakura are the earliest songs I can remember. I was recaptured by a scene through the song Insanity that played in the Sonic.exe plush movie done by Firewire Productions, formerly Supersonic X8989. A music video that is now long gone used the song with scenes of the movie done by the same YouTuber. Listening to it in full raked back in old memories of me and my cousin checking out Vocaloid PPs she wanted to show me. Something inside me persuaded me to look up these songs, the ones I could recall, and I felt as though I traveled back in time. It was magical. That's the best I can describe what happened. Soon I'll discover Sonker Miku, or Kevin, his real name. At the time, he only had between 2,000 to 5,000 subscribers, which shocked me. His production skills were something out of AVGN and Scott the Woz, with a tad lower budget. But he's gotten better over the years, and his Patreon has sadly died down in terms of rewards. For a time, he had Skype calls for $5 to $10 every month. Kevin's passion for Miku and Vocaloid in general resonated with me somehow. I felt that fire I had years ago for music production. With it, I researched Vocaloid and found out how user-friendly it is. Many musicians use it to create unique sounding music with these virtual divas. Some may hate the robotic sound, but y'all listen to autotune singers like Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber. So chill, guys. Heck, concerts are held for Miku and her friends. The hologram technology amazed me when I saw it back in 2012, but it's gotten so much better all these years later. I remember trying to save money for a trip to Japan. Yes, via GoFundMe. I was a desperate weeb. Oh, the cringe. The cringe. Oh, I think I still am a desperate weeb to this day. Anyway, before anyone else found out and used it to poke fun at me, I took it down. I know doing that now is stupid. I had a baka brain. You know what? I know better, so shut the frick up, cancel culture. As years went by, however, I fell down a rabbit hole I thought I'd never get out of. I announced that I was making a video game at the end of 2018 by the name of Star Gem, but that game is cancelled and is going to be a book instead. Due to the stress of game development, I caved in favor of my health and did the unthinkable. Say no. All my life, I was taught to put myself before others no matter what. Church drilled those things into my brain. Self is a taboo word in the Christian community. But I know better. My body is God's holy temple and I wrecked it by stressing myself out. I explain this in further detail in new perspective. Shameless plug! Now back to the video. After moving and getting a job, I went with the motions and got into video game merchandise, which isn't a bad thing. I still love discussing it and doing videos on it, but I overlooked an important mission I ditched after taking on that game, becoming a Vocaloid producer. I had a job and I did not once think of getting the rest of the things I needed. No one is to blame for what had happened during my game dev dilemma, other than myself. I got myself into that mess and I got myself out. End of story. Distracted by everything that was going on, between healing, getting situated in my new home, the Sonic movie hype, and other things I'm forgetting, I lost sight of Vocaloid. Until March 2020 when the pandemic happened, where a majority of us got unemployed. I kicked myself for not remembering to save up for the voice banks and keeping my promise to Kevin in regards to supporting him via Patreon. What had I become? Where was I? I felt a tremendous guilt for not keeping my word. This is why I no longer make promises. I break them. Also, I learned that Wawaka passed away in 2019 and I did not know. He produced the song Rolling Girl, my favorite Vocaloid song. It took months of eBay selling and going to the bottom of the barrel in my collection to raise money for these voice banks. I had nothing other than what I was trying to sell already, and thankfully some things I had listed for years finally sold, like a bunch of Mario figures I had, and a few games. Still, it wasn't enough, and I was being swayed by new stuff coming out. I needed my job back. Both the support of my parents and a lucky find at a yard sale, that being a Twin Network Shadow and Amy, I got it. After I purchased the voice banks, I felt a sense of relief and fear. Fear that the world will not acknowledge the songs I produce, and that I had wasted a good chunk of money for nothing. But why should I worry? I've been wanting to do this for years. I'd regret not releasing at least one original song to the world, even if it sucked to others. If it changes one person's life, that's all that really matters in the end. Eventually, everything that I made, said, and did will be a distant memory in eternity. It cannot make something eternal. All of mankind, its history, this very planet and everything around it will dissolve like snow one day. On that day, no one will give a frick about how great or bad my music was. I know what I'm saying might sound grim, but it's true. I'm not saying creating great things is meaningless. I'm saying that we need to remember what is truly important. Being a good steward. In your work, aim to change someone's life for the greater good, even if it offends them. What I would like to address is that who I am is not in my occupations, it's not my skin color, and it's not even in my sexuality. Who I am is found in Jesus Christ. Everything I say or do is to glorify Him. Not myself, not Hatsune Miku or any other Vocaloid I use. They're tools, not idols. Thanks to Krypton Future Media and Yamaha, you can create music without the ability to sing or the need to hire a singer. What peeves me is that the fans idolize Miku or whatever Vocaloid they choose rather than going to the source of where the music originated. The producer! It's kinda ironic. We worship the creation rather than the creator. Whenever I hear a song sung by Miku or any other Vocaloid, I check to see who produced the song and give proper credit. Yes, I love Miku and her friends, but not to where I hold them as gods or goddesses. In the end, God made these creative people, and they used their minds to make what we know as Vocaloid.